Have you ever caught yourself worrying that you're not doing enough in retirement? Maybe you look at your bank account and wonder if you'll run out of money. Or you scroll through photos of people traveling the world, buying vacation homes, or showing off their big retirement adventures, and you start to compare. It's easy to slip into the trap of believing that unless you're living a picture-perfect retirement, you must be falling behind. But the truth is, you might already be doing far better than you think. When I turned 60, I had this idea in my head that retirement would look a certain way: constant leisure, plenty of savings, no stress at all. But as I grew older, I realized that real retirement isn't about having endless money or luxury. It's about balance, contentment, and the ability to live on your own terms. And chances are, you've achieved more of that than you give yourself credit for. The first sign that you're doing better than you think is that your basic needs are covered. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but think about it for a moment. Do you have a roof over your head, food on your table, and clothes that keep you comfortable? Can you afford your medicine, your bills, and the things that matter most for your health and daily life? If the answer is yes, you're already more secure than millions of people worldwide, many of whom never get the chance to retire at all. It's so easy to overlook this because we're constantly told to measure our worth in dollars, but real security is about being able to meet your needs without living in constant fear of tomorrow. If you can do that, you've built a strong foundation. The second sign is that you have some control over your time. Think about the decades you may have spent working, waking up to alarms, commuting, following someone else's schedule, putting in long hours even when you were exhausted. Retirement gives you something priceless: freedom. If you can decide when to wake up, how to spend your afternoons, and which activities fill your day, you're richer than you realize. Time is one of those things money can't buy back once it's gone, and in retirement, you finally get to own more of it. Even if you don't travel the world or fill every day with big adventures, just having the ability to sit on your porch with a cup of tea or to take a walk when the sun feels just right is a gift worth appreciating. And here's another sign, one that often gets overlooked because it doesn't show up on any financial statement: you still find moments of joy in everyday life. Maybe it's when you hear your grandchild laugh, or when you finish a puzzle, or when the neighbor stops by for a chat. Retirement doesn't have to be fireworks every day. It's about noticing the small sparks that remind you life is still good. If you catch yourself smiling at little things, if you can still find beauty in the ordinary, then you're doing better than you think. I remember a conversation I had with a friend not long ago. She kept saying she felt like she was failing at retirement because she wasn't traveling, wasn't buying new things, and didn't have an exciting story to tell. But when I asked her what her days looked like, she told me about gardening in the mornings, cooking meals she enjoyed, and spending her evenings reading novels she never had time for before. And I thought, doesn't that sound like success? She had peace, health, and joy. Sometimes, we overlook what's right in front of us because we're too busy chasing what we think retirement is supposed to be. Now, if you're nodding your head at any of this, if your needs are met, if you have freedom over your time, if you can still enjoy the small pleasures of life, then you're already doing much better than your worries might tell you. And that's the thing, retirement isn't a competition. It's not about living up to someone else's version of success. It's about creating a life that feels good for you, even if it looks simple from the outside. But of course, there are other signs that can give you confidence, too, things that show you're building not just a secure retirement, but a meaningful one. And those are just as important, because retirement isn't only about what you have. It's about who you are and how you live each day. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. One of the clearest signs that you're truly doing better in retirement than you give yourself credit for is the presence of meaningful connections in your life. Think for a moment. Do you have at least one person you can call when you're feeling lonely, or someone who would notice if you didn't show up to church, to the community center, or even just out on your daily walk? That's worth more than you might realize. Loneliness is one of the biggest challenges people face after they stop working. For years, work gives us a built-in network of people to talk to, laugh with, or even complain with. When that disappears, some people feel a hole they don't know how to fill. So if you've kept up with old friends, stayed in touch with family, or even made new connections through hobbies, volunteering, or just chatting with neighbors, that means you're building a retirement that's emotionally rich, not just financially stable. And let's be honest, having someone to share your joys and struggles with is one of the most powerful predictors of happiness as we age. Another important sign is that you're still curious about life. Curiosity doesn't mean you have to enroll in college classes or start a new career. It simply means you're open to learning, exploring, or trying something new, no matter how small. Maybe you've picked up a new recipe, started listening to different kinds of music, or learned how to use technology to video chat with your grandchildren. Every time you do something that stretches your mind, you're keeping your brain young and your spirit engaged. A lot of people think retirement is about slowing down, but really, it's about having the freedom to keep growing in ways that matter to you. If you're doing that, you're ahead of the game. Health is another area where we tend to be too hard on ourselves. Sure, most of us over 60 have some aches and pains, maybe a list of medications or limitations we didn't used to have. But the question isn't whether you're perfectly healthy, it's whether you're able to keep moving, take care of yourself, and enjoy your days. If you can walk around your home, prepare your meals, and engage in the activities you love, you're doing better than you think. Many people compare themselves to their younger selves and feel discouraged, but it's far more helpful to notice what you can do rather than what you've lost. Being able to live independently, even with some challenges, is a strong sign of success in retirement. I think about a man I once met at a community center. He was 82 and walked with a cane. He couldn't drive anymore, and he admitted he missed the freedom of hopping into a car. But every day, he came to the center to play chess with his friends, share stories, and laugh. He told me, "Sure, I've slowed down, but I'm still here, still thinking, still part of life." That perspective is everything. If you still see value in your days, if you still find ways to participate and enjoy life, that's proof you're doing better than you might believe. Another overlooked sign is having routines that bring you peace. After retirement, some people feel lost without the structure that work used to provide. But if you've managed to create new rhythms, maybe it's your morning walk, your afternoon nap, or your evening phone call with a loved one, you've found a way to anchor your days. And that sense of stability goes a long way toward making retirement fulfilling. It's not about filling every moment with excitement, it's about shaping a daily life that feels steady, comfortable, and meaningful to you. When you step back and notice these things, the connections you maintain, the curiosity you nurture, the health you still enjoy, and the routines that keep you grounded, you start to realize that success in retirement isn't always measured in numbers. It's measured in the quality of your days. And if you've got even some of these pieces in place, you're doing far better than those nagging doubts in your mind might suggest. Another powerful sign that you're navigating retirement better than you realize is the sense of purpose you carry with you. Purpose doesn't always look like a grand mission or a long list of achievements. Sometimes, it's as simple as having something, or someone, to care about each day. Maybe it's tending to your garden, where each bloom reminds you that life still grows and renews itself. Maybe it's helping a neighbor, looking after a grandchild, or volunteering at your local library. These acts, no matter how small they seem, give your days meaning. They remind you that you're still contributing, still part of the world, still needed. That, in itself, is one of the greatest measures of a successful retirement. It's easy to underestimate this. I've heard people say, "I don't do much anymore, just little things." But little things add up to a life well lived. A kind word, a smile, a shared story, they ripple out in ways we can't always see. If you end your day with the sense that you've touched someone's life, even in a small way, you are thriving more than you probably think. Another sign is peace of mind. You may not feel it every moment, none of us do, but if you can sit quietly in your chair at the end of the day and feel a sense of calm, even for a few minutes, that is worth more than gold. Peace doesn't mean a life without worries. It means knowing you can handle those worries when they come and still find moments of rest in between. In retirement, peace of mind comes from appreciating what you have instead of constantly chasing what you don't. If you've learned to pause, breathe, and be grateful for where you are right now, you're already ahead of so many people who never find that contentment, no matter their age. And finally, one of the clearest signs you're doing better than you think is that you've learned to let go of comparisons, of regrets, of the idea that life had to unfold a certain way. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making room for joy, even when things didn't go perfectly. Maybe you didn't save as much money as you once planned. Maybe you didn't travel everywhere you dreamed. Maybe you had hardships that changed your path. But here you are, still standing, still living, still finding beauty in the present moment. That ability to let go and move forward with grace is one of the strongest indicators of a fulfilling retirement. When we step back and look at all of this together, the security of having your needs met, the freedom to spend your time as you choose, the joy in small things, the relationships you nurture, the curiosity you carry, the health and routines that ground you, the sense of purpose that guides you, and the peace that comes from letting go, it paints a picture that's far richer than the one we sometimes tell ourselves. Retirement isn't about measuring up to others. It's about noticing all the ways you're already living well, right here and now. So the next time you catch yourself wondering if you're doing enough, pause and ask yourself, am I safe? Am I loved? Am I finding meaning in my days? If the answer is yes, even in simple ways, then you're doing far better than you might believe. I'd love to hear from you. What brings you the most peace or purpose in retirement? Is it the people you love, the hobbies you've embraced, or the freedom to live at your own pace? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you found comfort or encouragement in this message, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This space is all about celebrating life after 60, finding joy, and building confidence in this stage of life. As we close, let me leave you with this: retirement is not the end of the road, it's a new chapter, one where you get to write the story your way. And if you're already finding joy, purpose, and peace in your days, then trust me, you're doing better than you think.